Hey everyone, I'm Dina from simplyhomecooked.com, and today I'll be showing you how to make Oreo cake pops. So unlike my other cake pop recipes, these are actually no bake, so they're faster, they're easier, and they still taste just as delicious. Let's get started by placing 24 Oreos into a food processor, then pop the lid on and pulse it on high speed until the Oreos are down to the size of really fine crumbs. Now you want to add 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Then pop the lid back on and then pulse it on high speed until the Oreo and cream cheese mixture resembles the texture of like a cookie dough, or a fudge, like a fudgy cookie dough, if that makes sense. So instead of working straight from the food processor, I like to take the Oreo mixture and just dump it into a large bowl. It's just a lot easier to work in. And from here you can start scooping out your mounds of it's not a cookie dough, the Oreo mixture. Most people just use like a medium-sized cookie scoop. I, on the other hand, like to use this snazzy little thingamabobber. It's actually a meatballer. It's meant for meatballs, but it works really great for cake pops. If you want to see where to buy this, I'll link it down below. You can buy it for really cheap on Amazon, but if you don't want to, a cookie scoop will work just as great. Once you've got your cake balls scooped out, you want to shape them into a perfect little circle. And then you want to place it on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and then pop the cake balls into the freezer for about 15 minutes. Now you want to add about a 1/4 cup of white candy melts into a small microwave safe bowl. And then you want to melt it in the microwave until it's a nice smooth consistency. Now bring back your cake pops from the freezer, or cake balls from the freezer. And then you want to take a cake pop stick and then dip the end of it into the melted candy melts and then insert it about halfway through the cake ball. Keep in mind you don't want to go in too far because that could actually just cause a cake pop to fall apart. Once you've got all your cake pop sticks inserted into the cake balls, you want to place them back onto that baking sheet and then freeze for another 5 minutes. That's just going to ensure that the cake pop stick just kind of really sets inside there. So in the meantime, take 12 ounces of white candy melts, add it to a large bowl, and then you want to melt it in the microwave. Keep in mind, be careful when melting. You want to do it in like 20-second intervals, because when you microwave for too long, you could scorch that chocolate and it's really hard to recover after it like stiffens like that. Once you notice your candy melts begin to melt, you can start adding in 2 tablespoons of dipping aid. So if you never heard of dipping aid, this is what it looks like. It's these chips you throw into candy melts and it just really thins it out. I highly recommend it. It helps so much and it makes the process so much easier when you're dipping your cake pops in. And if you're looking where to buy it, I'll make sure to link it down below for you guys. Once your white candy melts are all thinned out, you can pour it into a narrow cup, and from there you can begin dipping in your cake pops. So you want to do this in one fluid motion. So take your cake pop, insert it straight down and pull it straight up. Do not swirl it around in the candy coating because that's just going to cause your cake pop to fall off the stick. And when you pull it out, instead of like shaking it around, actually just tap your wrist and then slowly twirl the cake pop and all the excess candy melts will just drip right off. Now transfer your cake pop into a styrofoam block to set and stiffen, and you can leave them as they are, or if you want to decorate them in the meantime while they're stiffening, I like to just melt some semi-sweet chocolate and just do like a thin drizzle over the top, but you can honestly just leave them as they are. They're still going to taste just as great. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please be sure to share, like, and subscribe to our channel so you guys never ever miss out on any of our new recipes. See you next time.